Today, our guest speaker to close out our month, and he'll be back with us in August. And he just got on the phone here, so we're going to talk about this. This month, he gave us a beautiful theme that's going to bless me. Start with what? Double what? What was it? Double down. Y'all been taking notes on Mr. Dean Tarrolly. Double down. On June the 9th, he says, no days off. On June 16th, he says, why are you playing what? Small, pequeño, poquito. Why? Why? I love the story about Boston and the story told about the Warriors. Why don't you make your masterpiece? And then he said, he added to it, and then finish the painting. Finish it, Rick. Come on, everybody, not just you, sir, but everybody. So without further ado, he is the go-to for the co-founder. He's also an influencer / Circle of Champions member, the great one and only from Southern California, Mr. Dean Tarrolly.
I got a few things to share with you guys. I've got some things to show you on the computer. We're going to revisit a couple things. So I'm glad that that you guys are all on. Definitely have a lot on my mind right now. It's been a crazy week, right? It's been crazy, you know, big decisions from people in courts and economy and Bitcoin and the markets, and wow, like, you know, I know that Mr. Thomas will say like, wow, sometimes. Well, this is a wow time. Doesn't matter what side of all that stuff you're on. This is just a window of time that we're in. And, you know, sometimes navigating all the stuff that that we have to deal with, and that we're all in this boat together, right? You know, what an absolute blessing that that we have this business kind of like to steady the ship, if you will. That's what it feels like to me, because one of the issues I think that people have, and when challenges come up, is when they feel like they're out of control, like they have no control. And what I've been talking to you guys about on this call for a couple of years is, by learning some really basic skills in ACN, you get control. You can get control back. And I think that's important. I think it's important. It's an important philosophy to understand. How do you get control back? So, you know, this is something that Mr. Thomas understands. And this is something that I don't take for granted in his leadership, that he puts all these leaders on these calls for you guys to give you a different voice and a different perspective and a different skill set for you guys to be able to round out what you need to do to be able to build your ACN business. You know, all the stuff that he does, you know, I guess these closing calls that he does that he was just referencing, and some other stuff, like how amazing to be able to do all of that. Well, the question is this: do you see yourselves one day being that person? Do you see yourselves one day having those skills? Do you see yourself one day being able to lead that way? And you're the only one that can decide that, right? Because it is a personal decision. It's a decision that he made a long time ago. Obviously, the co-founders, like he said about me, well, they've been listening to him for years. And you know, Mr. Thomas, another month in the books. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you guys. You know, and I'm certainly grateful for, you know, your friendship and leadership and all that stuff that we go over every week. But I just don't want I don't want that or you and the environment that you create to ever be taken for granted. So, so thank you, sir. So you guys, here's the deal. June really was, and the idea behind June was no days off. There's no days off. And great leaders in anything that they do, they self-evaluate, right? So a couple things just to think about before I really dive in here. You know, what are you mastering? What are you getting good at, right? Are you mastering just promoting everybody else's event, promoting everybody else's training, promoting everybody else? I mean, is that what you're getting good at? Here's my question. Did that advance your business this month? Okay. I don't know. I wouldn't think so. because you can promote all the calls and all the leaders and brag about it. But did it put another customer in your business? Did it put another rep on your team? Right? So if you took no days off this month, if you did what we agreed to do at the beginning of this month and you took no days off, your business should be in a different position today than it was at the beginning of June. And I said that to you guys. I was very transparent. You guys agree with me? I said that right at the beginning. Well, guess what? Guess what? The bill is due. The bill is freaking due. And some of you are going to be able to pay. Some of you are going to be able to pay with money left in the account. And guess what? Some of you have overdraft protection because you spent and you did not deposit this month. And I mean that figuratively and realistically. Okay, so in the first week, we talked about doubling down and improving. Double down on the things that you know you're good at and double down on the things that you got to improve. We talked about that. And then the second week, we talked about messaging. And what message are you telling yourself and what message are you telling everybody else? And the third week, we talked about, do you see your end goal? Do you see your end goal in mind? Do you see walking the stage as a senior vice president and what that represents? Do you see what it would be like for you not to chase bills, but to have your residual income chase you no matter where you are in the world? And last week we talked about your vision when you see something that other people don't, right? That's a lonely place, man. And you have to accept that is part of being an entrepreneur. I'm going to show you guys a couple things that I believe will help kind of make that point. But I want you guys really just to take a second right now. And I'm talking to you guys as fellow leaders. I want you to take a second right now. And I want you to think about where you were at the beginning of the month and where you are today. Take a second and think about it. Your personal points, your team points, the number of reps that joined your team. Like, you guys, this is business. You guys, this is business. We're not trying to just float through month to month. You guys have heard me say this for a couple of years. I think hope is a terrible business strategy. I think the world all needs hope, but I think it's a terrible business strategy. I hope it's going to work out. If I do this for a little bit, dab my toe in this, put one foot in the pool when you can't get a good swim, right? It's kind of frustrating, actually. Your foot's cooled off and the rest of your body's burning because you're not in the water. Do you guys agree with me? That's how a lot of people do ACN, yes or no? And how about this? There's people who have their foot in the pool. They talk about the swim. They talk about the water. And then here's the worst thing. They start telling other people what they should be doing. They start telling other people how they should be doing their business, how they should be enjoying the pool the exact same way. And that's a disaster. So guys, hang with me. Everything's going to come full circle. Just hang with me to wrap up this month. So I got to play something for you guys. I got to take out my earbuds here, but listen, this is important. Okay. It's a couple minutes, but I need you guys to focus. I'm going to play it through my computer and I need you to focus on what I'm going to share with you and who it's coming from. And it's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds approximately. And we're going to cover it because I think it has everything to do with why Mr. Thomas has this call and why you guys are on this call so consistently. So hang tight for a second.
Are y'all with me? I haven't spent the last 2 years every other month with you guys to not make this happen with you and for you. So pay close attention, don't drift, and just listen to this and watch it. Here goes.
The thing I would say is, when you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. That's maybe the most important thing, is to shake off this erroneous notion that life is there and you're just going to live in it, versus embrace it, change it, improve it, make your mark upon it. I think that's very important. And however you learn that, once you learn it, you'll want to change life and make it better, because it's kind of messed up in a lot of ways. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again. Most people don't get those experiences because they never ask. I've never found anybody that didn't want to help me if I asked them for help. I always call them up. I called up, this will date me, but I called up Bill Hewlett when I was 12 years old, and he lived in Palo Alto. His number was still in the phone book. And he answered the phone himself. He said, yes? He said, hi, I'm Steve Jobs. I'm 12 years old. I'm a student in high school, and I want to build a frequency counter. And I was wondering if you had any spare parts I could have. And he laughed, and he gave me the spare parts to build this frequency counter, and he gave me a job that summer in Hewlett-Packard, working on the assembly line, putting nuts and bolts together on frequency counters. He got me a job in the place that built them. And I was in heaven. And I've never found anyone who said no or hung up the phone when I called. I just asked. And when people ask me, I try to be as responsive, to pay that debt of gratitude back. Most people never pick up the phone and call. Most people never ask. And that's what separates sometimes the people that do things from the people that just dream about them. You gotta act. And you've got to be willing to fail. You've got to be willing to crash and burn, with people on the phone, with starting a company, with whatever. If you're afraid of failing, you won't get very far.
That guy changed the world. And when I see stuff like that, I think it's emotional. I mean, you're talking about someone who's giving us a blueprint. Don't be afraid. Ask for help. Give it when it's asked. And all those things in between, you guys, yeah, Sam just put, you got to be willing to crash and burn. So who's going to freaking step up and realize that if you're participating in this, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is game time. And you guys, I could watch that clip over and over and over. Mr. Thomas, should we do it again? It's a couple minutes. All right, you guys. Here we go.
Absolutely.
Here we go. Listen up. Catch what you missed the first go around. Stand by.
The thing I would say is, when you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. That's maybe the most important thing, is to shake off this erroneous notion that life is there and you're just going to live in it, versus embrace it, change it, improve it, make your mark upon it. I think that's very important. And however you learn that, once you learn it, you'll want to change life and make it better, because it's kind of messed up in a lot of ways. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again. Most people don't get those experiences because they never ask. I've never found anybody that didn't want to help me if I asked them for help. I always call them up. I called up, this will date me, but I called up Bill Hewlett when I was 12 years old, and he lived in Palo Alto. His number was still in the phone book. And he answered the phone himself. He said, yes? He said, hi, I'm Steve Jobs. I'm 12 years old. I'm a student in high school, and I want to build a frequency counter. And I was wondering if you had any spare parts I could have. And he laughed, and he gave me the spare parts to build this frequency counter, and he gave me a job that summer in Hewlett-Packard, working on the assembly line, putting nuts and bolts together on frequency counters. He got me a job in the place that built them. And I was in heaven. And I've never found anyone who said no or hung up the phone when I called. I just asked. And when people ask me, I try to be as responsive, to pay that debt of gratitude back. Most people never pick up the phone and call. Most people never ask. And that's what separates sometimes the people that do things from the people that just dream about them. You gotta act. And you've got to be willing to fail. You've got to be willing to crash and burn. With people on the phone, with starting a company, with whatever. If you're afraid of failing, you won't get very far.
Yeah, right. You could pick that apart. That 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That's I found that because I wanted to find a way to sort of wrap up the couple years I've been doing this with you guys. And what are you willing to do? Do you guys understand that playing it safe is painful? You guys understand that not stretching, not getting out of your comfort zone? I mean, do you guys understand that? Like, that's where all the thing that you signed up in ACN for is right outside of your comfort zone. And when magic happens is when you get comfortable being uncomfortable, because it's no longer uncomfortable anymore. But put it to you this way, you guys, Al, permission to be very direct. Mr. Thomas?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
How long are you guys going to tell yourself, oh man, I told you my last one. So how long are you guys going to tell yourself, like literally, how long are you going to lie to yourself that you're doing ACN? How long? How long are you going to buy that lie? Now, understand what I mean by that. It all starts with some truth, right? Like you guys, this isn't even in my notes. Listen to me. There is doing ACN and there is observing ACN. We got a lot of observers. Now we got some doers. I don't know everybody's story and I don't know everybody's business. One of my guys on this call, Doug Soto, he's a doer. Doug started a movement for the English Spanish speaking community. Estamos Unidos. He's doing ACN, right? One of the reasons why I tried to get on early, but one of the reasons today was I was finishing a presentation another phase 1 presentation for Steve Roby, who's a regional director. I don't even know if he's made it on the call yet. We're signing it. We're signing my meeting was at 8 o'clock this morning, and we finished it at 8:30. He had some questions, showed him some stuff online, signing him up. But here's my message to you guys. Steve Jobs said it. There's no one has an advantage over you. No one's any better than you. Someone just made a decision and decided to follow through. Do you guys get that? That's all that happened. Someone made a decision and decided, what did he say? Decide to act. We get customers, we build teams, we promote the events. You know, you guys, I've been putting out, listen, I said all the way to Vegas, said, look, we have Tony Kupas coming into Southern California day after tomorrow. I said, if someone was within 4 hours of LA, they should be at that event. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Because it's just, you guys, how unreasonable is it to jump in a car for 4 hours for an event, as we're starting to do events again, that may have 50, 60, 70, 100, 150 people. It is complete 4th of July weekend. No freaking way I'm going. Said by the person who watches the person who went get promoted 2 or 3, 4 times in the next year. I go to Cleveland. What am I going to Cleveland for? I had nothing in Cleveland. Well, you know what? If you don't have something in Cleveland, grab one of your friends, grab one of your business partners, figure it out and be there. And now that starts to become part of your ACN DNA. It starts to become part of your ACN DNA that you're now doing these things that we've been talking about. When you guys think about this, Al Thomas at the beginning of every call, and I assume he does it on the other calls as well. He certainly manages to do it on the ones I do. He gives you the exact number of days to the next events. So you're going to break the mold. You're going to do it differently. You're going to become a senior vice president and not follow the model. Best of luck. It's my message. It's going to be a challenge. So let me go back to this. Where did you start the month? And where are you ending the month? So here's some direct questions. And I referenced this when I first got on, especially after hearing Steve Jobs just now, late Steve Jobs. Here's my question for you, direct question for you all. Do you have more personal customers today than you did on June 1st? Okay, I see some people nodding their heads. Do you really? Do you really? If you showed me your report, do you really? Okay, great. Great, Daryl. Great, sensational Sharon. By the way, that was so much fun when we got you out to Tahoe and nobody knew you were coming, and we did a sneak around on Mr. Thomas, and there all of a sudden you were there. Zoe raised her hand. Okay, how about this? Here's another one. Do you have more team members today than you had on June 1st? There's a question. Okay. Okay, so Marla's raising her hand. She does. Heather's raising, or Heather said that she does. Great. That's 2 or 3 out of 82. I would tell you in the world of business, that percentage is low. Thank you for the people that did, so we didn't have a goose egg this month. By the way, let me just tell you something. Let me be really direct. If all of us were literally on Al Thomas's team, Anita did, okay, great. I'm telling you right now, 3 or 4 people, I do, 3 or 4 people out of 82, I'm going to tell you right now, Al Thomas would bring us all into his massive office and we would be having a sit down. Mr. Thomas, true? Okay. Here's another one. Of the 2 new team members that joined or clearly didn't, how many of those did you participate in presenting, training, or launching? See, if you didn't participate in a presentation, a training, or a launching, I don't know what you did this month. I do know that you didn't do ACN. Let me say that again. I don't know what you did this month, but I do know that it wasn't ACN. We talked about no days off and doing something every day. That's what we talked about. Jen Olson, 4 brand new business partners. There you go. So guess what? Jen advanced her business in the month of June. That's what No Days Off was about. And I have it in my notes right here. What to say to you guys. Watch this. If the answer is what, listen, are y'all with me right now? Are y'all with me? Okay, cool. If the answer was yes to any of those questions, your business is building. And if the answer is no to any of those questions, your business is shrinking. And that's it. That's it. This is where ACN becomes so doggone simple. That is it. The business is expanding or the business is contracting. That is it. There's not any in between. So the reason I wanted to talk to you guys about this is because you guys matter. Your story matters. Now, look, I don't know what you're going to do in July. I know what I'm going to be doing with the people that I am working with. You're welcome, Patricia, no problem. I know what I'm going to be doing with the people that I'm working with. I'm sure Al has a game plan for the people that he's working with. And by the way, for the record, Al should have a direct game plan for the people that are directly in his business that affect his personal business. And I'm telling you, as an SVP, he does. Now, he's going to help everybody, but I'm telling you guys, this is business. The world is really full of would-haves, could-haves, should-haves, and intentions. It's full of it, which also you guys know what that means. That means that some people are just full of it. That's what it means, right? How many stories, how many times am I going to get texts and chats about, yeah, you should tell them this and tell them that. And those people haven't signed up a rep in 3 months, 6 months. Please save your comments. Now, the appreciation comments I love, but I'm talking about people who are armchair quarterbacks who are not in the field. Please stop. Please do us all a freaking favor, please. Right? Say less, do more. I don't know. My dad. I don't know if that was a yawn or he just saw something on the TV, but my dad's face was just going crazy. Maybe it was something I said. I don't know. Hey, Dad. Anyway, you guys. I got a lot of comments, a bunch of them over the course of this month. And this month was designed for you guys to hear a perspective on what you're doing in ACN that is all business. It was supposed to be all that. That's what this was supposed to be. I wasn't trying to give you guys fluff stuff. Not that anybody else does. I'm just telling you from me. Because what did I tell you guys at the beginning of the month? If I don't find a way to connect and get through to some of you guys to advance your business, I don't know. If you're saying that you want your ACN business to improve, I don't know where we're going with this. Like, I'm telling you, and I'd say this to Al. I mean, I trust Al. Why do I trust Mr. Thomas? Because I have a history with him and he's been at the position that I'm in. I am not trying to train hamsters on a wheel. That is not, and going nowhere. I'm not trying to train you on a treadmill. That is not the idea here. The idea here is to fail forward, is to fall 6 feet, and now you're 6 feet closer to your goal because you are failing forward, right? That's the idea. You heard it in the Steve Jobs video. So what do I want for you guys, right? I mean, I hope that you guys hear it when I talk to you guys. I want you to win. I want you to win to the degree that you want to win. And if you've already won by being a part of this call and you're at the position you want in ACN, you've won. And I will be the first one to high five you. But if you are literally telling me that I have something bigger, I want to do more, then you guys, this was a no days off month. You're going to do with July, whatever you want to do with, and I'll see you down the road, right? But the point is this. You have to make that decision and you have to act on it. And I will tip my hat to every single one of you that listened to what I said at the beginning of the month. And today you have more customers than you did at the beginning of the month. You have more business partners than you did at the beginning of the month. You did what we were talking about. You did. Now, side note, a little piece of business information from ACN for you guys. 100% guaranteed, 100% guaranteed. The bonus, oh, hey, here comes my mail. So hang on one second. I'm going to do this so you don't hear. Actually, I'm going to let you hear all the dogs anyway, whatever. Hi. There you go. Thank you so much. Have a good day. All right. Okay. You hear him? Welcome to the farm. So you guys, look, if you're hard on yourself, life is easy. If you're easy on yourself, life is hard. Okay. In ACN, if you're hard on yourself, life is easy. If you're easy on yourself, life is hard. You guys know that when you go into a presentation and you just signed someone up, you just got a new customer, you just helped a team member get life share or ID seal or whatever. And some of you right now, I know what some of you are thinking, because this is how you're wired. Oh, but it's not what they say. And it's this and that. And then what about this? And what about that? This is not for you. You see, Mr. Thomas is shaking his head like he knows exactly what I'm talking about. You're finding the thing to stop you, but you'll still talk about it. Not interested. Not interested. I'm interested in someone who draws the line in the sand, steps over and goes, you know what? That was then, this is now. I was told, and I accepted the challenge of what to do in June. I didn't do it. I'm not going to let that happen in July. As a rep alert just comes through for us. See, you guys, this is what I'm talking about. Like that's how this thing works. And look, we're not finished. Like, we're not finished. So, you know, Mr. Thomas, there are a lot of things I could, there's a lot of things that I could continue to talk about right now. I will do this. Hang on. You guys. Feel like the older brother, like, what am I going to do with you guys? Okay, here we go. So let's get this part straight. You have the company, you have the services, you have the comp plan, you have the leaderships. Clearly on this call, you have the support. So remind me what your excuse is again. Oh, you don't understand this, that, the other. Remind me. You have stuff that other people don't have. You guys, there are millions of people in the world right now that would trade places with you without a conversation. And with me as well. And I know that. But the job's not done. See, here's what's so great about this. Greg Provenzano, the president of our company, said this years and years and years and years and years ago, and he said it for years. Finished never is. Like, that's just, this is a work in progress. It's a constant building, a constant growing, a constant reevaluating, a constant, like, that's what this is. But some of you guys are making ACN, and there's some people on this call specifically, I know, that you're making ACN a business of convenience. You're doing it when it is convenient for you. And you can do that. You just can't hold ACN to a higher degree of accountability than you're holding yourself. That is unfair. That is unfair. And I want to see all of you guys get to that next point threshold. I want to see all of you guys get to that next position promotion. I want to see all of you guys succeed to the degree that you want to succeed in this. Learning the customer acquisition, learning how to peak people and put people in front of your leader or Mr. Thomas or whatever model you're using, and learning how to promote the events, you guys, that is the core basic part of ACN, which is not that difficult. It's just not. It's just not. The decision to get someone off of the Barca-Lounger and watching another rerun of whatever, that all comes down to your reason why. That comes down to what it is that you want out of this thing. But we're not finished. I'm not. So I'll say that y'all got this recorded. I said, I'm not finished. I don't even feel like, I almost feel like I haven't hardly started yet. I feel like I just have enough information to get in the game. I've been doing this for a minute. So there were a lot of comments when I showed you guys this a couple of weeks ago. So it's probably a really good place to end for for my round with you. So hang on.
Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? No, I don't think so. Okay.
The job is not finished. Mama, the job is not finished.
But the job's not finished. Kobe has one of the best mentalities of all time. I take a lot from that, and not being satisfied with where you're at.
We still need to play better. You know, the job's just not finished yet.
We obviously know the job's not done.
I always go back to, the famous quote of Kobe Bryant, the job's not finished.
We understand what's at stake. The job is not done.
It's simple. The job is not finished.
Job still ain't done, but I said, you know what I'm here for.
It feels good, but we know that the job isn't finished.
Hopefully we can get the job done because the job's not done yet.
So proud of my guys, but we realize that the job's not finished.
2-0 to start the playoffs is great, but I think about my idol Kobe and that famous clip of him.
That's all I got for you.